My brother, he brought Earth, Wind, and Fire and Ohio Players and all of that, and it played in my house, but I couldn't connect to it. But every time I would come downstairs, I come home from school or wake up in the morning, and my father would have the radio on. It was just something about the rock music that felt better to me.
Daryl, welcome to Metal Mayhem ROC. How you doing today?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Doing really, really good. I'm so excited to be here. And by the way, I love reading your interviews and listening to them.
Thank you.
Yeah, listening to them. Yeah, when I'm driving in my truck, I put it on. And really, really, really good.
Well, thank you. That's the nicest compliment somebody could give us, to say, hey, you're a subscriber and you're a fan of our show. We put a lot of effort into it. And we do really appreciate that positive feedback. So, and you're just going to be the next big guest to join our Metal Mayhem ORC roster.
Yeah, I love the way the artists open up for you. It's real. It's real.
Well, that's great. Thank you. So, Daryl, before we jump in, I want to set the tone for this conversation. Obviously, for the general public, and your name is instantly connected to Run-DMC, and rightly so, right? I mean, you guys are groundbreaking pioneers of, rap and hip hop, but maybe what not every listener knows or fan knows is how deep it is that you have a love for rock and hard rock and metal. And, for a fan like me, I've watched you through your your more recent years, whether it's TV appearances or being on the news promoting your product in an AC/DC or a Ramones t-shirt. Right. And it's clear that rock music is part of who you are. So today I want to lean into that side of it. Okay. And especially when you got some new music coming out, and I want to put all of these threads together. All right.
Okay. Yep.
All right. So let's go back to your beginning, Daryl. Let's say your childhood and your musical upbringing. Like, before anybody knew you as DMC, like, what did music sound like in your household?
Well, that's a great question, Matt, because my parents' music, James Brown, Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, Al Green. I'm a kid, right? That's from my parents, rest in peace. They are always cool. But my parents was younger, 20, 30, 40. That was playing in my house all the time. Me, I'm a kid. I didn't have music. For me, it was comic books. Marvel comic books. Stan Lee, rest in peace. He's like a god to me. So I'm this little kid, and in my house, the soul music's playing. But I'm a kid. I care nothing about it because, Al Green, Aretha Franklin, and Marvin Gaye, they singing about sex and love. I don't care about girls. I care about comic books, AFX cars, Apollo 5-speed bicycles, cartoons, and the black and white 1930s monster movies, Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney Jr., Bela Lugosi, Evan Costello, all this stuff as a kid. But it wasn't till, I would say, late 60s, early 70s, there was always the soul music station, which was the black station. And then you had the rock station and the folk rock station, which was the white station. So my father would go back and forth to both because he would listen to, Dylan, Crosby, Stills, Young and Nash, all of that. But a phenomenal thing happened in the 70s, 77 WABC. Dan Ingram, Harry Harrison, they played the black and white music together. So you would hear, the Stones, and you would hear Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, and all of that. But you also hear Al Green, Marvin Gaye, and Aretha Franklin. But me being a kid, I cared nothing about soul music. I cared nothing about afros and dashikis, nothing about it. But once I started paying attention to 77 WABC, I started hearing the Zeppelins and the Doobie Brothers and Procol Harum. And there was something about the rock music that I was attracted to for two reasons. Number one, the drums and the guitars were louder and stronger than funk, soul, and disco. And it was like superhero music to me. Gang, gang, and the voices. And it just had all of this energy. So I was attracted to that. The other thing that attracted to me, outside of people like, Gil Scott-Heron, Curtis Mayfield and stuff, a lot of the rock songs, heavy drums and guitars, they would talk about stuff like presidents and governments. And I'm talking about people like John Fogerty, Neil Young, and stuff like that. So as a kid, I'm like, oh, I know that in social studies. You know, they were saying stuff like that. But the thing that attracted it to me was the power of it. So I'm this little superhero kid. So I started paying attention to the radio more and more and more. So my roots, or I guess inside me, there was a spirit that connected with the sound or the vibration of the rock more than the soul. Like my brother, he brought Earth, Wind, and Fire and Ohio Players and all of that, and it played in my house, but I couldn't connect to it. But every time I would come downstairs or come home from school or wake up in the morning and my father would have the radio on, it was just something about the rock music that felt better to me.
Do you remember, let's say, the first song that really was like, oh my God, this is my song. I got to go buy the 45 or the album or the cassette. What was your first rock artist that got you going?
It was whatever. I didn't even know who they were, but I just knew, and it probably had to do with superheroes. Black Sabbath, Iron Man. It was just like, what? I thought they were singing about Iron Man because I was in the comic books since I was a kid. And like I said, I didn't have a theme song. And then it just became everything from Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, hugely attracted to me. So, and it was all radio. Because remember, I'm a kid. I'm still a kid trying to figure out life. It was all radio. But then in 76, I would think it was, something else amazing happened. When I first started hearing hip hop, you know, I didn't care about the rappers that was rapping over the disco samples. You know, because in the early days, hip hop would sample disco and funk and R&B because they always had bass lines. But then when I started hearing the live tapes of, first, like Grandmaster Flash, when I would hear Kool Herc, when I would hear Africa Bambaataa in them, I started hearing, I didn't even know it was Walk This Way. I just knew it was a song with the drums and the guitars, but so the thing that really made me become a king of rock, like I did on the record, was people don't know that in the early days of hip hop, before Rappers Delight, when you saw a live DJ, in those crates was disco, funk, and R&B, rightfully so, and jazz. But also in the crates was Aerosmith, Black Sabbath, who else was in there? Rush. So what I'm trying to say is all the records, all the rock songs, Led Zeppelin, you know, the infamous When the Levee Breaks, which the Beastie Boys sample later on, all of those records were being played in the craze of hip hop in the early years. So what happened to me was I was this little black kid in Hollis, Queens, who wanted to be a rock star, but I had a problem. I can't sing like Freddie Mercury, and I don't got a band. But then when hip hop came along, I was like, oh shoot, you could tell stories over music, using other people's music and tell stories about yourself, and I could write stories about me. Like, I could become a superhero on the mic with this powerful music. So it was basically 70s rock on the radio, which connected with this little kid in Hollis, Queens. But you understand, I never wanted to be in show business. And the way that I got into the music business was, if you remember, Walk This Way isn't the first rock rap record. It's a tongue twister. Walk This Way isn't the first rock rap record. The first rock rap record is Rock Box, off Run-DMC's self-titled album Run-DMC in '84. The reason why we did Rock Box in the first place, because rock and metal was being used in the streets of New York, but nobody did it on record. So when we did our first album, we wanted to do something really, really fun. And this is funny, Matt, really, that's a foundation of hip hop. Two of the most foundational records in hip hop is James Brown's Funky Drummer and Billy Squire's Big Beat. So when we did rock pop, boom, man, it was hip hop's cheap attempt of making a Billy Squier rock song. So it was songs like Billy Squier's Big Beach, Rush, Tom Sawyer, Led Zeppelin's When the Levee Breaks, and all of these rock records that were break beats that we would use to rock over. The reason why I didn't know the names of the bands and the songs officially, except when the radio announcer, if you heard these songs in the streets, the DJs would scratch the labels off the vinyl. So the rival DJs wouldn't see what record and what album. Because if you was playing a record and I would look, oh, that's Black Sabbath. Oh, I could go, I know where to get it. So the DJs would scratch the labels off the record. Even when we did Walk This Way, we never knew it was Walk This Way. We just knew it was the album with the toys on it, number 4.
You see that? Well, Daryl, This is awesome because you're building the narrative and the timeline to this amazing career, and you're tying this all together, and you're teaching me things I didn't know. But talking about the Aerosmith connection again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Walk This Way. I mean, it was plastered all over MTV. For a kid like me who was 15 at that time, it was like, oh, well, Run-DMC, those cool rap guys, and this classic rock band merging together. But what I didn't know later on was you guys basically relaunched Aerosmith's career. I mean, these guys were down in the dumps. They were, whether they were still, dealing with their demons, or they were in recovery, or they were mending fences, or trying to get sober. I don't know what it was.
Right.
But in addition to it starting a movement, which I agree, maybe it was during Rockbox, but it did relaunch their career.
Started it, Rabbi. Rockbox was the seed.
So take us through this whole experience.
Yep.
Meeting Steven and Joe, doing the video, and kind of, how this collaboration, it provided it exploded into other worlds that would come down the line.
It gave birth to Korn, Limp Bizkit, Rage Against the Machine, Sum 41, Blink 182, all it, and they'll tell you that. Yes, it did. Now, don't get me wrong. They were already doing it. But Walk This Way was the permission. You can do it, because Walk This Way literally knocked down the walls that was separating the genre. I've been to every country, well, not every country. Since '86, every country I've been to South Sudan. I've been to Russia and Ukraine. When I got there, it's great people in all those countries, and music is so beautiful. I played Ukraine, I played Russia, 2 countries at war, but when I was there, it was Metallica, Beastie Boys, Run-DMC, Naughty by Nature, Billy Idol, the audience was crazy. But in the Walk This Way video, Steven Tyler takes the mic stand and knocks down the wall separating us. Every country I go to, and I could go to one tomorrow I've never been to, I get this. DMC, don't you know, Steven Tyler took that mic stand and knocked down the wall that was separating y'all in the video. That didn't happen. Now, that being said, a lot of the rock groups were already messing with rock. Def Leppard made Pour Some Sugar on it because they were inspired by Run-DMC and Aerosmith's Walk This Way. That's natural fact. It's written. You could look that up. They'll tell you, yeah, we're trying to be like them. But everybody was already doing it, but nobody was doing it together. Now, that being said, man, let me tell you how it went down. When we was first going to do Walk This Way, we wasn't going to do it with them. Me and Run was going to sample their beat. It was going to be 8 bars of drums, 8 bars of guitar in a loop. Typical hip-hop record, in a loop. Loop the beat and keep it going so me and Run can rhyme. I still remember my rhyme. We came out in '83. This is '86 now, our 3rd album. My opening rhyme was going to be, I'm DMC in a place to be. Been rhyming on a mic since '83. I'm the best MC in history. There will never be an MC better than me. And then Run was supposed to go, I'm DJ Run, here to get it done. I'm number one. Typical Run-DMC stuff. Rick Rubin, who happened to be our producer at the time, he comes in the studio, sees us sampling the record, and he goes, hey guys, the typical Rick Rubin Zen approach. Hey guys, you guys should do the record over. So me and Run, from a limited hip hop perspective, what do you think we're going to do, Rick? We're going to sample it. We're going to rhyme on it. Rick goes, no, do the record over the way the band originally did it. It had never been done before. We sampled the hell out of every rock record, every James Brown record, every Parliament Funkadelic record. We'll sample it and scratch it up and loop it. But Rick was like, do it over the way the band originally did it. Me and Rum was totally against it. Why? I got rhymes. I want to say my rhymes. I want to steal it. I want to use their music and tell the world how good I am. So Jam Master Jay, rest in peace, Jason Mizell, he goes, yo, dudes, that'll be a great idea. So with a little persuasion, Rick and Jay convinced me and Run to do the record over the way the band originally did it. Now, we had heard the record on the radio. You know, people played it on 8 tracks and cassettes and stuff like that. We've heard it on the hi-fi stereos at, you know, different people's houses. And like I said, what people don't realize, when I was growing up in the Black Hood in Hollis, I would go over my friend's house and their uncles, you know, Skippy and Dwayne and Bernard. These are black dudes in the hood, but they would throw on some Judas Priest. They would throw on some Black Sabbath, you know, in the midst of all that music. So Rick and Jay convinces us to do the record over the way they did it. While we were doing that, Rick took it a step further. While me and Run were learning the actual vocals to the record, Rick calls Boston and says, hello, my name is Rick Rubin. I know you know who Run-DMC is. We're doing your record over. Would you like to do it with us? Now imagine you're on the receiving end of this call and you go, who is this? Come again. My name is Rick Rubin. I know you know who Run-DMC is. You've seen him on MTV. We're doing your record over. Do you want to do it? So when it got to Steve and Joe's ear, who were in the studio, by the way, working on that phenomenal record album, Dude Looks Like a Lady, and hey, like it was phenomenal. But there was no way in the world, let me repeat this, there was no way in the world for Aerosmith to come back. They could have spent a $30 million promotion and marketing. They were gone. Nobody cared. Messed up shows, drugs, everything. No, we didn't know that. We just said, oh, we like the record. But Rick Rubin gave us the 411 on the group. How great they are, but they are effed up right now. And once me and Run heard that, I use this as a joke now. I say this, Aerosmith was so far gone that they could have made a record with God, Jesus, and Moses, and nobody would have cared. Yo, Aerosmith got this record. That's how far they go. Steve and Joe were humble enough to go, yo, we know about those guys. We like what they're doing. Yeah, we'll do it. So Rick brought them to make the record with us. That was the game changer. And it worked because the spirit of their music, that we rapped over their beats and music. We heard their music on the radios all our lives. You know what I'm saying? And it was different interpretations of the same feeling. So when they came in and we came in to do the record, number one, it's gotta work because it's their song. Number two, it's gonna work because we're not, like, if me and Run would have just did it ourselves the way they did it, you would be telling me, Matt, oh, D, I remember there was a song on your record where you did an Aerosmith song on. That's what it had the effect. But the fact that we did it together touched everybody who heard it or saw it on MTV, because you saw the two generations coming together. Black people and white people, rock and hip hop, 74 and 84, 86, you know what I'm saying? You saw the whole generation. And it was the show and tell that showed that it worked. And you could talk to every musician. Dude, that was a game changer. Like, everybody was already doing it, but the fact that we did it with them, and what Aerosmith didn't know, that, like, we had to tell Stephen, yo, before Rapper's Delight ever came out, I've been rapping over your music. And it was like, what? There's footage of Jam Master Jay teaching Steven Tyler how to DJ and scratch with his very own record.
Wow, that's an amazing history story on that period of time. Daryl, I guarantee there was probably fans at that time that said, Walk This Way is a Run-DMC song. Like, how many people said, oh, that's the Run-DMC song, right? I mean, in a sense, it was, but it was, right? They identified it as that. Your guys.
Yeah. But here's what happened. Remember when we dropped the Raising Hell album, the two singles off the Raising Hell album was My Adidas and Peter Piper, two Run-DMC hip-hop songs. So when our label and management sent their first singles out off the album, they said My Adidas and Peter Piper out to all the radio stations, all the black stations. But here's what's crazy, Matt. They sent Walk This Way. It was white labeled. You know the term white label? You send a station, it's just a white thing, a black label says Run-DMC Walk This Way. So to all the black stations, they sent the white label Run-DMC with our first single. And to all the rock stations, they just sent the white label. And here's what happened. When all the DJs, people out there, y'all gonna know DJ Red Alert, one of the legendary DJs in New York City during the rise of hip hop, and Mr. Magic. So when they got it, they played My Adidas and they played Peter Piper, but they also played Walk This Way. The reason why Red Alert, a black hip hop DJ from the Bronx who started hip hop with playing Walk This Way, Run-DMC's version, he already knew it because he's a DJ. He dug in it crazy. He knew every song on the whole album. So when he wasn't afraid to play it. But on the Boston radio station, the Boston radio goes, "Hey guys, I know you know who Run-DMC is. You know the guys that made Rockbox, King of Rock, the guys that got hip hop on MTV. I just got this test pressing of a Run-DMC song they did with our hometown heroes, Aerosmith. I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to take your calls." So they played Run-DMC's version of Walk This Way. I forgot what station, the biggest station in Boston. And they opened up the phone lines, and it was 80-20. 80% of the Boston rock, holy grail, religiously rock heads was like, "Yo, we love this. This is great." Even to the point, "Yo, we kind of like this better than the original." But Matt, there was 20%. This is blasphemous. Who do these rap guys think they are? How the hell could they disrespect rock like this? Like the ones that just didn't want to hear it. It was 80-20, but the 80% overrided the 20 so bad that this rock station had to add Run-DMC and Aerosmith new version of their record. So, along the way, I mean, I get probably, myself, Matt, I'll say this, I love the original version better. The sound of the drums, the sound of just the essence of the record, that's what I was looking for because I'm a rock fan. The new version is great, and there's a lot of people, even some of their fans said, "We like your version better," because I guess it was just, it was seasoned different. It's like the difference between teriyaki chicken and barbecue chicken. I prefer teriyaki first, but me personally, I like the first version, but it worked because people resonated with it because it was done in the same spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. So outside of the Aerosmith Run-DMC camps, Daryl, it's a simple question. At what point did you decide, I'm just going to start making some rock music? And there's a lot of examples of things you've done more recently over the years, but when was that, let's say, launching pad to say, "I'm going to make some rock music"?
Oh, wow. That's a really good question. I guess it was after the 90s at grunge, because I'm big Audio Slave, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Chains Addiction. I guess it was after that. But, to answer your question, truthfully, it was probably after I got out of rehab. I was an alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical, spiritual wreck who was thinking of killing himself that just happened to be in Run-DMC. And when I got out of rehab, I'm clean and sober now, and just something in me said, I need to be doing something that, I need to be doing what my heartbeat is. And I guess it was, I would say, in the 90s. I guess it was in the 90s. And it really wasn't me, man. I ran into people who said, "Let's do something." One of the things that I did a couple of years ago, I did a song with Pop Evil. And that was because I perform a lot with the rock band Jackal. Jesse James Dupree and them.
Of course.
So I met Jesse James Dupree, and then they started taking me to all these festivals where I would see Motley Crue and everybody, and Tommy Lee is one of my best friends ever, you know. I love him. Not like we hang, but he's like, every time he see me, we get together and we talk about hip hop and rock like we're little kids and stuff like that. So I got with Jacko and they said, let's do something. And then they introduced me to Pop Evil and they said, let's do something. So every rock person that I run into, hey, let's do something. And it's organic. It ain't because we're trying to sell records. It's just because this is what we do and we have a lot of fun. So all my collaborations came together from me meeting some of the people that I grew up listening to on cassette, CD, and vinyl.
Well,
and that's the beautiful thing.
Well, number one, congratulations on your dedication to your sobriety. That's the most important thing. And it sounds like the creative genie sprouted out of you when you had a clear head and body and mind. Now, you know, I will say there were when we'll go into when you had the show at Dingbats in New Jersey a couple of years ago in Clifton, New Jersey, for the listeners, I saw the ad come up, DMC and the HellRaisers. And I said, DMC and the HellRaisers? Next thing I'm doing this research, and I'm like, well, God damn it, Daryl's got a heavy metal rock band here with new material. So I go and go to the show and listen. There's no, let's just set the record straight. There was no confusion in that audience. That was a rock show and a rock audience.
Right.
And you had a great band. You had Monica, the female drummer from...
Veronica Bellino. Life for Agony.
The Like an Agony drummer. She sang her ass off, but...
Yes. While she drums. I love her. I said, I tried to make her to start a band. She didn't want it. She's so humble.
Oh.
I said, I just want to be a rapper in your band. She was like, no, you got to be the guy. I was a...
But talk about that material, because like, what kind of reactions did you get from, let's say, legacy Run-DMC fans and then new rock fans to that music? Because you put out, what, 5, 6, 7 pieces of music?
Yeah, and we got more coming. Basically, this is funny. Basically, when Gene Simmons got mad at hip-hop for going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like, why the hell are they in here? And it's funny. I'm such a rock fan, Mac. In the midst of all my comrades in hip hop, I agreed with Gene. It's like, what the hell are you doing putting us in there, man? Like, there's so many. Even when they inducted me, I didn't want to go in because there's so many bands that I grew up listening to that's not in yet. But what I'm trying to say is, what had happened was this. When it comes to Run-DMC, people don't realize that all of our hits were rock songs. That's why Rage Against the Machine, Cypress Hill, Limp Bizkit, Sum 41. I met Derek and I'm from Sum 41, and it wasn't Walk This Way. Sum 41 told me they were little white kids growing up in Canada, and when they saw they were kids. When they saw the King of Rock video on MTV in '85, they all ran simultaneous to the parents, mommy, we're starting a band. They didn't start a rap, they started a band. But what I'm trying to say is, all of my songs, the majority of my songs, you know, we got My Adidas, Sucker and Tease, it's like that. But all of my big hits are rock songs. Let me run it down to you. Rockbots, 1984, first hip hop song on MTV. And that wasn't a remake. It was Eddie Martinez, who was playing with Quiet Riot. Look up Eddie Martinez. He played with some of the greatest legendary rock stars. Our producer at the time, Larry Smith, was a bass player in a funk band. And I found out all the musicians know each other. So when we needed a rock guitar player to come, we didn't want to sample nothing, so Eddie came in and played. So Rockbox 1984, first hip-hop video on MTV, which gave us kind of an advantage to get in because it was a rock song, but it's me and one rhyming. I couldn't wait to demonstrate all the super deaf rhymes that I create over rock and metal. 1985, we did a song. I had a lot of guts at 15 years old when I was writing these rhymes. I was like, when I walk in the room, Elvis Presley's going to get up off the throne and let me sit down. When I see Mick Jagger, he's going to move out my way. I am the king of rock. When we did the King of Rock with Larry Bud Melvin from the David Letterman show at the front door of a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame museum telling us we can't get in, what did I scream at him? I'm the king of rock. So you got Rockbox, You got King of Rock. Now we move into the third album, Raising Hell. We got Walk This Way with Aerosmith, but even Tricky. Da, 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 my Sharona. Also, coming home from school as a kid, I don't care if you're black, you're white, I don't care if you live in Manhattan, I don't care if you live in Jersey or Long Island. All of us from that area come home from school. Bugs Bunny, the Flintstones, the Brady Bunch, and the Monkees is on TV after school. We have a song called Mary, Mary, why you bugging? So my transition into the rock isn't a transition into rock. I've always been making rock records. I am the king of rock. It's just that I can't sing and I don't have a band. But now, after all of these years of practice, after being able to open for everybody from ZZ Top to Lou Reed, I'm like, you know what? I want to go make what's really in my heart. So it wasn't like a transition. And like I said, I ran into somebody that knew Veronica. And, you know, Veronica, she played with Richie Sambora. Who else? She played with Jeff Beck. Now she's playing with Life of Agony. Look at the names that I'm dropping. So Veronica knowing who Run-DMC is, it's not like I was this gangster rapper, thug, drug dealer, gangbanger that's now doing rock and roll. I was DMC who called himself the king of rock. And fortunately, everybody from even Lemmy, when I met Lemmy at, it's crazy. I met Lemmy at Chuck Berry's 82nd birthday party at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Lemmy's like, all right, man, I love what you guys is doing. So every time I meet somebody I heard on the radio or stared at the album cover, we connect. So I don't think it's new. I think for the only thing that's different for my hip hop fans is it's not just me and a DJ. Like if you see me now, I'm doing Rockbox Live with a live drummer, live guitar player, live bass player. So it's not Run-DMC. It's completely different from when if I was a performer with Run, we'd have a DJ and we would do it hip hop style. Now, all the rap rock records that I made, I perform strictly rock style. And even though I don't sing, one of the things that convinced me and Run to do Walk This Way was we were so caught up that we can't sing like Steven Tyler. We can't sing like Steven Tyler. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Jay, being the DJ, said, hey, guys, calm the fuck down. Do the record the way Run-DMC would rap it. We said, what you talking about, Jay? Backseat lover, underneath the cover, talk to my dad. But then Jay said, okay, here, let me make you understand something. And he used this word, Matt. He said, sit here and listen to the whole record. Listen to Steven's flow. So if you never heard Aerosmith, if you're a hip hop guy and you listen to Steven Flow, even his singing is seesaw swinging with the boy, it's rapping. So we were already doing it. And when you look back over the history of rock, all of these guys were just rapping. They just knew how to sing. It's just weird because, you know, I don't think of myself as a singer, but when I do Rockbox Live with my band, it's a little different from me rapping it. I'm the king of rock. There is none higher, sucker. But if I was just to do that over my DJ playing the instrumental of the song, it's the same thing, but it isn't. So for me, I'm living my rock and roll dream. I was this little black kid that wanted to be a rock star, and hip hop gave me the permission to do it. Just like my hip hop gave everybody after us, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Blink 182, or they already was doing it. They probably was rapping their asses off, but they didn't know we could do this for real in front of people. So me, it's reverse for me. Oh, I could do this rock shit in front of people for real, and I'm just doing it.
So, well, taking us to 2026, you got a new single coming. It's called She Gets Me High. Tell us all about it. I'm not going to spoil the surprise.
Yes.
Tell us who the players are on this.
Okay. I have me and Sebastian Bach on vocals. Phenomenal. But people forget he's so phenomenal. He did Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. And got rave review. Phenomenal. So what had happened was, okay, let me give you the lineup first. Sebastian Bach on vocals with me. Travis Barker on drums. Mick Mars for Motley Crue on guitar, and he murdered it, and Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses on bass. Now, this is how it came together. I did even further, I did a remix of Ram Jam's Black Betty. Those guitars, right? Oh, so imagine Sebastian singing, oh, Black Betty, and me rapping. I know a girl, I wrote a song about a girl named Mary, could have wrote a book about Mariah Carey, can't forget about Mick and Jerry, how did Dave get Halle Berry, paparazzi, so damn petty, heard that Scary was illin' on Eddie, I got something, do you think you're ready? This is a song about a girl, Black Betty, oh, this is crazy. So how it came about was, we did a sampled version with sampled hook, sample beat. The producer, this hip-hop R&B black guy producer, goes to a football game. So he's sitting there at the football game the night after we recorded my version of it. And you know how hockey and football games, during timeouts and intermissions, the DJ plays song. So at every sports event, you will hear Guns N' Roses. You will hear Metallica. You will hear Rage Against the Machine. You will hear Black Sabbath. You will hear Run-DMC. You will hear Alice in Chains. And then at this particular one, he heard all of these guys. He heard Travis music. He heard now hold up. Let me just say, we wasn't thinking of getting these guys, but he hears Travis music, he hears Duff music, he hears Mick music, hears my music, and then after all of that, he hears the Black Betty song that we just sampled in the night before. So he comes home, D, walk this way, and I was like, I know, we got to do it live. So Mac, this is how this came together. I go to this event for MTV, and people are walking around the event going, he's brilliant. He's one of the best voices ever. This and that. He did Phantom of the Opera. And every time I would look in the green room, it was Sebastian in there. You know, with his energy. He's, hey, DMC, what's up, my friend? What's going on? And Sonic saying, next time you see him, just go ask him, does he want to sing? So I go over to Sebastian to break the ice because we was doing this thing with MPD, and I just say, yo, Sebastian, what time is it? I just, just said, and he goes, dude, it's 2:00, dude. And Matt, I'm telling you, for a half hour, Sebastian Bach is telling me what he does at 2:00. So we sitting in, I'm telling you, usually we get into discussion about life and this and that. It leads into hip hop and music. And he goes, what you up to, dude? And I go, yeah, I got this idea for this song I'm looking for. So let me hear it. And I play him my verse. And he was like, dude, tomorrow in the studio, come to LA. I'm doing no management, no lawyers, no paperwork. He goes lay the vocals. And let me tell you something about Sebastian. He comes to the vocal session. He takes all the wires and does all the plugins for them. The engineer's sitting there like this. Me and the engineer sitting there watching Sebastian Bach do all the plugins. He goes in the booth, sets up the mic. This is a true story. Goes in the booth, sets on the mic, tells us to hit record. He goes in and does his vocals. He finishes it. He comes out the booth, sits down at the board with us, says, play it. We play the song top to bottom. He sits there and listens. Matt, it's the best thing I ever heard. He says, I got to go do it all over again. He goes back over in the booth. Now, the first version was spotless to me, so I think he probably heard something, from his professional rock star thing that has to be perfect. He goes back and does all the vocals over, comes back in. Now you can keep it. So now I got a sampled version with Sebastian singing live and me rapping. I swear to God, I go to a party. Travis Barker walks up to me. The first thing Travis says to me, it's our first time meeting. He says, DMC, most people jumped on a bandwagon and will walk this way, but I was with you since Rock Box. You can ask my dad. And I don't know what to say, man. And I just go, well, and he goes, hold up. I wasn't going to ask him. He goes, D, if there's ever anything I could do for you, by the way, I got this song with me and Sebastian. Let me hear it. Send it to me tomorrow. 2 days later, I had the drums live. True story. Now look how I got Sebastian. Just meeting him. Look how I got Travis. Just meeting him. So now I got Sebastian and Travis. I'm at a meeting for Cologne. Now, I wasn't on Ducalo. I just like to take meetings so I could learn what goes on in these, meetings. So I'm sitting in a meeting and the phone rings in the middle of the meeting. And the lady, she's trying to be polite to me. DMC, I don't want to dish you. I have to take this call. It's Mick Mars. I hear Mick Mars. Yeah, you could take that call right in. She said, you sure? Yeah. So she gets on the phone. Hi, Mick. I'm so sorry. I'm still in this meeting with DMC. And when she says my name, Mick goes, DMC? Man, I love those guys. And she goes, Mick, he's sitting right here. You tell him yourself. Mac, me and Mick get into discussion about hats. Because Mick always wear a hat. I'm like, yo, Mick, I love your hat. Man, I love the hat. For being in a discussion about that. And then Mick goes, DMC, man, if you ever want to do something with me, I swear to God, man, I go, by the way, I got to song with Sebastian and Travis. Oh, Travis, man, I love that guy. This and that. But he said, I said, yeah, we did Ram Jams, Black Betty. Here's what you do. I say, he said, yes, I would love to do it. And I go, I'm in New York. I go, Mick, I'll bring you to New York tomorrow. He says, no, DMC, you get your ass to, just blew my mind. You get your ass to LA and I'll make Nikki Sixx give us his studio and we'll do it there. True story. I fly to LA. I get to LA. It's like 11 in the morning. Nikki Sixx comes in his pajamas, hands me, my producer, and Mick Mars, the studio, the keys to the studio. We go in there, Mick kills it. So now I got those three guys. Me and Sebastian, we excited about the song. We got to put this out. We got one problem, Matt. We need a bass player. So we go into a list of bass players trying to get everybody. Everybody's booked. Everybody's booked. We tried for Flea. We tried to get Bootsy Collins. Like, we going for the best of the best. And then Sebastian goes, oh, I got an idea. Maybe I could get my friend. He might be in between tours. And I'm like, who's your friend? He goes, Duff McKagan. So he calls Duff and Duff picks up. Like, you can't write this. Duff picks up. Yo, what's up? What's going on? What are you doing? Well, I got this song with DMC and we got Travis and we got Mick. Whoa, this sounds cool. Send it to me. Sent it to Duff. Duff said, send this to me right now. 45 minutes later, we had Duff, all of his bass stuff. Duff heard it and said, whoa, this is fun. Now, we got to remember that. Everybody who said, yo, we're like little kids. Ooh, can I play? I want to come play. Please let me play. And that's how this song came together. She Gets Me High, DMC, Sebastian Bach, Duff McKagan, Travis Barker, and Mick Mars. And it sounds fun. It's really the funnest thing ever.
What's the philosophy on just dropping a one-off single?
Well, it's not a single. It's a collaboration that we did that we said we got to put out. But you got to remember, it's not, and everybody's like, we formed a new supergroup. No, it's not that. Really, it's, you know how you have those classic rock songs throughout everything where somebody would tell you, oh, that's such and such from this band playing on a Motorhead song. Oh, do you know who played guitars on that record? Oh, Sting actually played, you know what I'm saying? So it's a DMC record featuring Sebastian Bach. And when you go back and do your history, you find out that, oh, Travis Barker, Mick Mars, and Duff McKagan played the instruments on it. So it's not like a single where we say, this is a single where we all got together for the purpose of putting out a single. It's a song that I did that Sebastian sung with me that when real musicians heard, like, even if I don't tell the world, I love the fact that it could be trivia. In 2026, DMC put out a song with Sebastian Bach. Do you know who played the instruments on it? So it's really good for rock itself. You know what I'm saying? It's not like lawyers and labels and stuff like that. It was an organic thing that came together. Look, I am losing it. No, listen to this. I am losing it because I did Walk This Way. But now I have a song with Sebastian Bach, Mick Mars, Travis Barker, and Duff McKagan. It's beautiful. And I think really this record came about because right now, Matt, we're in a very divisive time. Politics, religion, there's wars. Music succeeds where politics and religion fails. So if you really want to know what the beauty in this world is about, it's about Sebastian Bach, DMC, Duff McKagan, Travis Barker, and Mick Mars making a song together. And we're paying homage to one of the Black Betty, Ram Jam's Black Betty. Like if we shoot a video for it, we're gonna shoot it just like Ram Jams. We're gonna pick somebody's backyard and shoot it with the clothes hanging up on the clothesline behind us.
You can come to my house in Jersey and do it, all right?
Right on.
Hey, DMC, you also recently you appeared on a song by Agnostic Front's "Matter of Life and Death." I mean,
Crazy.
listen, these are New York hardcore royalty guys, right? Like,
Yep.
What did this mean to you, being so deeply tied to that hardcore scene?
Well, first of all, Run-DMC, when we was coming up, punk was a big part of my upbringing. People forget this. They look at rap as such a undermined genre, but people forget this. Okay, Rappers Delight was cool, but at the same time, a punk band named Blondie made a song called Rapture. Blondie made a rap record rapping about Grandmaster Flash and Fat Freddy Watt. If you would have came to New York in the 80s and you walked into a club, you go into the World, you go into Danceteria, or any of those early clubs, or you go into all the discos that closed that hip-hop took over, when you went in all those clubs, you would walk in and you would see Grandmaster Flash, Africa Bambaataa, Run-DMC, the Beastie Boys, the Ramones, Lou Reed, Basquiat, Keith Haring. Joey Ramone and them used to show up at all our early shows. When we was playing, we was just doing 2 cents. We ain't even have rock box. Every time we played New York, 83, 84, the Ramones would show up and the promoters would go, they were here again. And this is just for us like that Sucker MCs. 1985, we opened for Lou Reed in Lower Manhattan. We only had 5 records. We opened for them. But if you would come to New York City, we were all already together. Now, the thing that got me with Agnostic Front, now, Glenn Friedman, who did the legendary books, Fuck You and Fuck You Too, where he documented all the funk band pictures, all the Run-DMC pictures, all the Beastie Boy pictures. The same time punk and hardcore was going on, hip-hop was going on. We all knew about each other. CBGB's was right down the block from the World and Danceteria. But what had happened, and this is how people don't know how so far we connected. When I said, in the Walk This Way video, when Steven Tyler knocked down the wall that was separated us, I was watching Agnostic Front's documentary, The Godfathers of Hardcore, which came out a couple of years ago. The documentary is called The God. Mac, you could look now for every scene in the Agnostic Front's documentary, hardcore, Godfathers of Hardcore, from beginning to end, you could take them out, every word that they're saying, and you could put a hip-hop person in. The scenes of them in the basement, the rebel, the out, everything they said that I saw Agnostic Front talking about in their documentary, I could have said word for word. So I had a friend who said, oh, I know those guys. So you know me, Matt, can you get them? I want to go make a rec with them. I was about to go to Vinny Stigma's barbershop in the Lower East Side when somebody talked to Roger and said, Roger, DMC's looking for you. He wants to do something with y'all. Roger gave that friend my number, and then we went into the studio, sitting around him, talking to him. It's almost like we grew up together. It's almost like we did the same thing, and I think the real connection is this is hardcore original New York, not Disney New York after Giuliani. This is 42nd Street. This is Staten Island. This is the Italians. This is the Jamaicans. This is the black hip hopper. This is New York. So that's why that worked so good. But the reason why I think it works so good is, like I said, I was watching their doc, everything they talked about what they were going through exactly happened to me. And they just said, yo, let's go in the studio and do a record.
It's a sick video. It's very aggressive. And
Yes.
it's like a little mini, almost like a mini movie there. So
Yes,
pretty badass.
For sure. Yeah. It's very, well, their music is very cinematic. Yeah. Like when I listen to all their albums, it's telling a story. You get visuals with it. So they wanted to do something that was going to complement what we were. We wanted to do a video that complements what we do. Now, it wasn't like we're getting together to make an Agnostic Front hardcore rap song. No, we just got together to make music. And everybody's just doing what they do. You know, I think it was Ginger Baker who rightfully said, he got mad. It's fucking music, dude. Stop fucking it's just fucking music. It don't matter the color and it's fucking music. It works.
Yep. Hey, Daryl, I want to go back in time to revisit one more thing in your rock history, and then we'll move on to a few more subjects.
Okay.
I had forgotten, but, you know, you performed with Sammy Hagar on his TV show that was out a couple of years ago, Rock and Roll Road Trip.
Oh,
and you
my
performed
God.
the Montrose classic Rock Candy, and I forgot, and I re-looked at it the other day in preparation for this discussion, and it gave me goosebumps. I forgot how good it was. Take us back to that.
It was one of the best things that I ever did. Yeah, it was for South by Southwest. Now, see, man, I'm telling you, this is how it came about. I'm down there for South by Southwest. Somebody says, yo, Sammy's in town doing his road. And I see, and it wasn't like it was planned. I don't know. He must have dropped somebody to get me. So they're telling me, D, tomorrow morning, you got to go do Sammy's show. And I'm like, what? Like, tomorrow morning, you got to go do Sammy's show. And by the way, everybody out there listening, I got a song with Sammy too on my new album coming. I got a song with Sammy and Joan Jett. But that came about was Sammy would love to interview you for a show. So I go to his show. You seen it. We just hit it off. And then he goes, yo, let's do something together. And, it was all off the cuff. Like, he said, you got some bars? And like, the rap said, yeah, so, we're doing it. And what I liked about it, a lot of, the version on YouTube, a lot of people really liked my voice. It was like, DMC actually got a good route. So that made me happy. Outside, when I was doing the vocals with him outside of me rapping, it was like, so that really made me happy. Yes, okay, I'll take that. But it came together so organically. And the backing band, Black Truck Mojo, is the backing band, but that just came together. It was just organic. I mean, and we sat there, we chatted it up, and he said, "Let's perform together." I mean, I gotta put you. That's probably one of my top 3 performances ever in life. No, because first of all, there's a lot of pressure on me, because Sammy's no joke. You know what I'm saying? Black Top Mojo is no joke. I actually got I got something that I'm doing with them. But it was just one of those things where I'm like, of all songs, he wants to do a Montrose song. Why couldn't he pick a Van Halen song? Something that, your perception, it would be easier. But then again, it worked because it was so organic and it was spirit. It's definitely one of my top 3. Everybody out there listening, go check it out. It's definitely one of my top 3 performances of like Live Aid. It might be second. Live Aid, that, and then something else. And I'm just talking about the way we did it. It worked so fine. And then after that, the Red Rocker says to me, D, we're going to do something together for your new album. And I'm like, what? He says, I'll produce it. So on my new album, which this first single with Travis and them will be on, we have a song called That Girl's Kitchen.
Right, breaking news, guys. Hagar. Breaking news. Yeah. Breaking news on Metal Mayhem ROC.
Yeah, DMC.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, DMC Sammy Hagar, produced by Sammy Hagar, That Girl's Kitchen. Hey, babe, there's something cooking in that girl's kitchen. Oh, y'all gonna love it.
Oh, can't wait to hear it, Daryl. So, Daryl, this has been an awesome experience talking about your love of rock and your passion and your stories. I want to talk a little bit quickly on some other things that you got going on this year. So, the Run-DMC legacy, we said we were going to talk about it, but I just want to ask you, in 2026, what does that look like practically? Is it music? Is it merchandise, experiences, something entirely different?
For the Run-DMC thing, legacy?
Yeah.
Well, we just released a documentary on Peacock called The King from Queens. It's a 3-part series on Peacock. You could check it out. You'll get a lot of stuff that you never knew about the band on this and stuff like that. But I mean, the Run-DMC, for me, the Run-DMC legacy, it morphed into me now. You know, I mean, people love my show now because what me and Run did with Jam Master Jay was totally different from what I'm doing now. But across the board, most people in music in general know about a Run-DMC song. So what I'm trying to say is, like, every Christmas I got a hit record because of Christmas in Hollis. Every Christmas is Nat King Cole, Bing Crosby, Perry Como, and Run-DMC. But I guess the legacy that we have now, I look at it like this. It's two things where when I look at Cream, you know, the band Cream, where they did 3 albums, and laid down a legacy, and they were smart enough to go, yo, we can't do no more. Let's end it here. So Clapton went his way, this and that. And like people say Run-DMC's the hip-hop Beatles. And it's funny how our careers, you know, with the death of a band member, like, here's my joke, and you're gonna laugh. I don't care if it's hip-hop, rock, black, punk, jazz, white, Puerto Rican, German, Asian, Jap, whatever it is. I go like this. Let's leave Run-DMC where that, because Run-DMC isn't just me and Run. It's Run-DMC and Jam Master Jay, but my joke matter is this. Run-DMC will get back together as soon as the Beatles get back together. I always get you, because that can you can't force Paul and Ringo to be the Beatles now. And after they broke up, John was doing his thing, Paul was doing his thing. So my legacy with Run-DMC is we won 3 Super Bowls, first album, second album, third album, and then, you know, it was time for us to retire. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unfortunately, we had to stop because our joke is we can't replace our drummer because Jam Master Jay was the whole band, if you understand what I said. But for me, my legacy, the Run-DMC legacy is solidified in what we left on the field. It was good. It was positive. To this day, kids don't know me as DMC from Run-DMC. They know me as the DMC guy who made Tricky from the movie White Chicks. Or they know me as the DMC guy from the Run-DMC group who made the song in Sonic Hedgehog 2. So there's elementary school kids, adolescents, and teenagers who know me because of that great music that we all grew up to. It's now hitting them the same way. But, you know, I'm kind of at I'm at a point in my career where, and I'm trying to get my publicist and my manager to understand this. I'm at a point in my career where I'm Paul after the Beatles. It's time for Paul McCartney and Wings. I'm John Lennon after the Beatles. It's time for me to make my Imagine. I am staying after the Police. I am David Grohl after Nirvana. And for me, coming from a rock perspective, that's a good place to be. I'm not running around here trying to keep Run-DMC alive, you know, and I'm not even making Run-DMC records. I'm making DMC records. But the beauty is, come see the DMC record that you're going to love, of course. But then when I do Rock Box, King of Rock, My Adidas, Walk This Way, Mary, Mary, and It's Tricky now with a full band, with Veronica drumming and Rich playing the guitar and Dave on bass and Charlie Chan, Jam Master Jay's protege scratching, it takes you to a whole nother place. So the Run-DMC legacy for me is, it's a great legacy. Going from a iconic band to still be able to be here and do those records. Yeah.
Dara, you do charity work. You've written children's book. You just put a children's book out before Christmas called Christmas in Hollis. You do, when you and I communicate, you're always saying, hey, we're doing comic book conventions and whatever. You even sold cookies. So like, what's your promotion?
Cookies.
What's your promotional?
Right.
What's your world look like outside of music, and what kind of keeps you so creatively curious?
That's a great question. And I'm going to sum it up like this. I'm creatively curious because I'm still a kid. Comic books was my first love. 10 years ago, I started a comic book company. What are you going to call it? DMC, Daryl Makes Comics. So I get to go to all the comic convention. And what's beautiful about that, man, is for me to get in hip hop, I had a huge collection of Marvel comic books when I was a kid. I sold all of my comic books to get 2 turntables and a mixer so I could do hip hop. So fortunately, it turned out well, but I'm doing comic books because before rock and roll and before hip hop came from the Bronx to change my life, all I did was read, collect, and draw comic books. I'm doing cookies is because I eat a lot of sweets. And I'm talking about I eat a lot of sweets and I love cookies. I've been sober for 22 years, so I can't do alcohol. I mean, I have a collaboration with Old York Cellars in New Jersey. There's a vineyard in New Jersey who does charity collaborations, and they donate all the sales of the wine they sell with your name on it to your charity. So I didn't want to do clothes. And to answer your question, I like to do things that are really authentic to me. Comic books, cookies. My next venture, I have a collaboration with Paper Planes Coffee in Montclair, New Jersey. They have a wonderful coffee shop. So they did DMC coffee. This is brilliant because hip hop is about mixing and collaboration. So they did a collaboration with DMC. They created a DMC coffee. It's a blend of Dominican, Mexican, and Colombian beans in a coffee. So everything that I'm doing is bringing people together. And Matt, I didn't think I was able to do any of this stuff, but everybody who I collaborate with tells me, D, you're prepared, you're ready to do it. And I go, what you talking about? You're doing the same thing you're doing all the things that you're doing now. You're doing the same thing that you've been doing with music for 42 years. And I'm like, what's that? Inspiring, motivating, and educating while I entertain. I was like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. So comic books, cookies, coffee. My next venture is going to be Daryl Makes Chocolate. I'm going to do candy, chocolate candy. And then, because my mother's known for, Christmas time in Hollis, Queens, mom's cooking chicken and collard greens, rice and stuff and macaroni and cheese. So I'm getting ready to do Daryl Makes Chicken. It's going to be fried chicken and grilled chicken with my mother's macaroni and cheese. And it's going to be DMC, Daryl Makes Chicken, and D's Macaroni and Cheese, DMC. So everything, Mac, everything that I've been doing and everything that I'm doing now just falls into me. And people can respect it. Number one, it's positive. It's good. It's authentic. Like I said, I was going to do a sample version, and even the producer said, D, man, you need to get somebody to play the music live. The way anything that I do, I salute it and I celebrate it. And it's just everything that I do is just a part of all of us. Like I'm sitting in front of you. I'm not just hip hop and heavy metal and rock and my Adidas. I'm the Brady Bunch. I'm the Flintstones and the Jetsons. I'm the past and the present. I am the Munsters. I am the Addams Family. I remember opening for Neil Young in 85. And at first, Matt, we didn't want to go. I mean, not Neil Young. We opened for Lou Reed in 1985 in New York City. And we didn't want to go. So Lou let us open. He gave us 15 minutes. And Matt, the whole performance, his main hardcore fans, this is a great Lou Reed story. We played some little venue in New York City. It was 80-20 again. 80%, yeah, we heard about the Run-DMC guys. We like them. And you got to understand, Matt, we had a point where they thought hip-hop was going to die like disco. It was, rap will be around for maybe 3 years and then it'll be over. But during the whole performance, it's me running Jay on stage at a Lou Reed concert. And about 20% of his fans, Matt, was doing this to us. As we were performing, to the point, Matt, this is funny. Me and Run are up front rhyming, and you can hear the audience members talking to me going, Daryl, fuck you, Run. We know y'all can hear us, fuck y'all. But here's what happened. We had two options. Keep playing or run off stage in disgrace. Let's do our records and leave. So we sitting in the dress room. The security comes, yo, Run DJ, you gotta come, you gotta hear this. What you talking about? Lou Reed is on stage talking about you. So before Lou did his set, and then this is funny. I remember this day like water. I remember this day like yesterday. I was in Whole Foods here in Boonton, New Jersey, where I live, in Parsippany, where I live at. And it was a worker that was actually at this show. And he said to me, yo, that was fucked up the way the audience treats you, but it was great what Lou did. Before Lou did his set, you know how Lou Reed talked? He said, before I do my show, I just want to address all those people that was booing and had their middle fingers up at Run-DMC. And it was like the father talking to the kids. Lou said, if you're doing that to them, you're doing that to me. He said, I was just like them. I was trying to figure out what instrument to use. I was beating on pots and pans. I was experimenting with everything. So what these guys are doing, I started like that. That's how I got here. So don't never do that again. It was almost, oh, we're sorry, Daddy. We didn't mean to do that. But what I'm trying to say is Lou Reed stuck up for me. Stuck up for Run-DMC, even though, we said maybe, and what's the beauty about Lou Reed? Maybe we might not be here in 5 years. Maybe it would have ended. But Lou was saying, no, you got to respect what they're doing because they're doing so. And I'll never forget that day. We never talked about it. Nobody never asked about an interview. But about maybe 3 months ago, one of the workers, an older man, working at, Whole Foods, said, Darryl, I want to tell you something. I was at the Lou. I said, really? You was there? And exactly what I went through, he saw that happen.
See that? That's karma there. Well,
Yeah,
Darryl, thanks for hanging with me today. I mean, you and I are very similar. We have like so much passion and enthusiasm. We could go on all day, and there will be a next time I'll get you back on because
for sure.
I took notes. I want to talk about the Flintstones. It's my favorite cartoon. I was watching it last night on MeTV, and we're going to talk slot cars, and you're going to finish the story about what it was like hanging with Jesse from Jackal
yes.
with the what do we call it? The chainsaw. Did you get a chance to play the cane chainsaw?
Yes, I did. He got this big picture. He took a picture of me. He said, D, you look like the mighty Thor. You're cutting into the bar stool and the sawdust is flying. And so he said it's the most, Jesse from Jackal has the most powerful image of DMC cutting into some wood with his chainsaw.
And for everybody listening, make sure you check out his new single, She Gets Me High, out now. And make sure you stay plugged into what Darryl's doing next because he's a lot going on. Darryl, thanks for coming on today.
No, thank you so much. I guess you're going to see me more because I got to drop the Sammy song. I got a song with Joan Jett. I got a lot of fun stuff going on.
Well, this is going to be the first of many times you'll be back on Metal Mayhem ROC. So for the latest on Darryl McDaniel's news, tour dates, appearances, and socials, visit thekingdmc.com. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. I'm Metal Walt, and this is Metal Mayhem ROC.
Metal for life.
Thank you for listening to Metal Mayhem ROC. Check out our website at metalmayhemroc.com for information on podcasts, archives, links to all our live radio shows, and all sorts of info. Please like, follow, and share with everyone, even your non-metal friends. And always remember to keep it heavy.